What's up, VeVe people? Haven't done one of these in a minute, but I wanted to do kind of a brief overview of the web app, the VeVe web app, that it seems like the majority of people are either not aware of, first of all, or maybe looked at it like a year ago when it first opened and still think it looks as archaic as it did back then. All of the development, all of the updates, everything that you've been thinking, oh man, why don't we have a sorting feature? Why don't we have a breakdown? Why don't we have a way to view all the MCP? Why don't we have a better looking interface? Why don't we have a better looking profile? All of that's been happening here. You're just not going to it. So I think that was just a big lack of communication. And to be fair, kind of has to be, right? Terms of service of Apple Store and Google Play Stores that you cannot market a third-party website if you have an app on the on the Play Stores. So I'm going to do my best to just kind of showcase it as best I can, and then I'll post this out there so that way you guys can try to use this in the future. It's just as easy as using the mobile app. It's just one extra step of saving it as a mobile app on your home screen if you're using an iPhone or an Android. When you go to the website, you click on the sidebar on the three lines that you're going to see on every single one, three lines or the settings, and one of those buttons is going to say Save as Desktop Home Screen. Just click that button and it looks exactly like your mobile app. It's designed to work that way. So it's designed to be a desktop app. It's designed to be a mobile app. This is just me on the website, and then I'm going to show you what it looks like on the desktop app as well. So first thing here, this would be a button if you're on, I use Brave as a regular browser, but this would have right here open with, and then once you have your open with, it'll take you right into a button that says, do you want to save this as a desktop? Otherwise, you can click over here and it'll be over here. But first thing, this is your collectibles home screen, essentially just the home screen of the VeVe website, right? But when you just click on VeVe.me, you're going to see this no login, really nice, a heck of a lot more eye candy, if you will. Just a lot cleaner way to view and access the info. You got all the cool little kind of updates there, and then it goes right into the collectibles. And again, this looks a lot more like the home screen, but again, just a lot cleaner. Just the designs look cleaner. They got the shading in there. It's obviously 3D and not still images. It's still the same kind of home screen. You still have crafts, collectibles, artworks, and then comics that you can purchase on the app. And then what's very cool is it goes right into an option where instead of having to have a separate website or to go to a different place, you can go right to the VeVe comics from this same place. And that'll be the same thing once we get into the desktop app, but it'll take you right in here. So you no longer have to go to two different places at once. It's built into the same integration. So they're trying to make it easy. You just got to pay attention. So market, same thing. We're just going to stick on this top level here of the tabs that are available so that we can just go one by one. Looks very similar to the mobile app in the sense of what's on the home screen, what's showing up here. You can scroll to the side. This would be the same collectibles that are on your current home screen. Difference is, again, just a little bit nicer, a little bit cleaner looking. And then you go over to see all, for example, just to kind of get an idea. Again, just like you were going to click into the home screen, this is all going to look basically the same because this is still one of the very few pieces that has not really upgraded to a quote-unquote 2.0. And you'll see what I'm talking about right now. So the 2.0 version, when I go into my profile, so you have your regular profile, and I'll just click on that so you can see that. This is me, you know me, Omaha Set Hike. This is how it displays all the info. You can actually change this background to whether if you want it to be black, all white or all black. And I think this is your private toggle, but there should be a button. Yeah, there we go, dark mode. So I can make it white. I don't like that. I think it's kind of an eyesore. So I like going into the dark mode. Just makes it a lot easier to view, and a lot easier on the eyes. Shows you your username, shows you your bio, all the same stuff that you would have on your home screen. So then we go right into collection, and this is where it starts to get different. First thing here, again, this part looks similar, not the same, but similar to the mobile app in the sense of how it displays. Once you go into here is where it starts to get a lot different, okay? First thing you're noticing, and if you're not paying attention, you should be, sort. This is so different than what's available within the app. So you have a to the dollar, first off, estimated value instead of a rounded number. Latest purchases. So instead of it automatically sorting by rarity, it just goes right into latest purchases. You can see everything you just bought. This is just random stuff I picked up with flips that I had during New York Comic Con week. And I just recently got the whole heart set there. But then now I can go into oldest purchases. This is the oldest stuff on record that I have purchased. It's not even the oldest stuff. It's just the fact that this is the oldest stuff I still have. Everything sold before the decon release I've either flipped or sold I've sold multiple collections way back in the day. So the oldest stuff I actually have purchased on here. I can go into lowest floor price, which is hands down one of the biggest pieces, and it's going to mean more once we get to the comic books, but this is definitely a huge part of it. So automatically it's going to sort it in here, the lowest floor prices. And then the number one problem that we all run into, especially with how light the user base is, how thin the floors are right now. Oh my God, my values went up. My values are worth $1 million. What's happening? Why is it worth $1 million? Well, it's going to detail highest floors. You can find that number, find that item literally right away. Again, going into the next one here, A to Z, this has always been there, but sometimes doesn't work. And then going into Z to A. Going into the filters, this part actually works for once. This slide bar on the mobile app has absolutely never worked one time, all the way from the beginning, and it still doesn't. When you click into the rarity, sometimes you click common, sometimes you don't, or sometimes you click common, uncommon, and it works, it doesn't work. I can click common, I can click uncommon, I can just show only those. I can take only that one off, I can take only that one off. Then you go into probably my favorite part, and you're going to see again why this means more in the comics than it does here, but it still means a lot here. I'm more of a comic person, which is why I keep saying that, so my collectibles are not as thick as my comic books are, but you get to see all of the breakdown by letter of every single freaking brand that you have to make it as absolutely easy as possible to find your own stuff, okay? This cannot be easier. They figured out, this is something that people were frustrated with, they figured it out. You can filter it by name. You can go right into, let's just for example, let's do one that's not on the screen that I know I have, Ghost Bear. I just type in and it auto searches. You know, it sounds simple, but that was not available in the mobile app, and it still isn't. It's still buggy. It still doesn't work. You can see why, because they're focusing all their efforts here, not there. The more traffic they can drive here, the farther they get away from that terrible Google and Apple fee store, which is all they are, just a freaking fee store of 30% they take on every transaction, you guys. So every time you're putting money in the app stores, when you're doing it directly through your app, instead of doing it on the web app, you're costing VeVe 30%. So you buy 240 gems, like the max you can buy at pretty much any of those situations, they're eating a 30% off the top before they even start. Help them out. Go to the web app. And you can do that right here, by the way. Go to wallet. I don't mind showing you I have absolutely nothing because I can't hold on to gems. I'm always spending them. And all my OMI right now is actually sitting in Stacker. But you go right in here, get more gems. I can get this number up to a crazy number. The max, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, my biggest purchase I ever did on here was 2,000. But I think you can actually go up to I think you can go up to 10K. And just slap it on a credit card. Now, obviously, you're going to have to put yourself in a place where you contact your credit card and let them know that purchase is happening, or, verify that you're not going to, if it gives you that silly, like, is this fraud thing, you just go through that process. But there's no additional fees that are being charged to VeVe when you're doing this. So, again, help the future of this thing out. Come here instead. Moving back here, went to one wrong spot. And that's okay. Even though it looks like I have to log back in, I don't. I just click on collectibles. I'm already logged in. So none of that headache that everybody was having. We have to go back and forth. But let's go back into my collection. And then this is where my absolute favorite thing that happened recently. I couldn't be happier. This is just stuff I bought recently. Somebody has a huge pile of these at $1 a piece, so I couldn't help myself. I just bought a bunch. But similar stuff, right? Sorting feature, all that stuff, right? Find the highest, find the lowest. This is where it gets fun, guys. Every single series, you want to search it, instead of having to search the word amazing, which if you have a bunch of Spider-Man comics like I do, and you type amazing and you're just sitting there doom scrolling until you find the common that you're looking for, and then you get to the common that you're looking for and you got to doom scroll further because all of it's out of order, none of the mints are in order, you can't find what you're looking for. I can just click right in here, I can scroll down, click Amazing Spider-Man, click Apply Filters. I have an easy to read display. I can go, oh, you know what? I only want to see the commons of Amazing Spider-Man. I click Apply Filters. It shows me only those. Guys, this couldn't be simpler to find your own stuff. And I know that sounds silly, but for a long time, if you have stacks like me and a lot of other people, finding your own stuff became a giant headache. And it gets really annoying. You almost lose track of what you're looking for, too. Now, the one thing I'm still waiting on that I know that they're going to put in here at some point, and that's me just saying it. There's no information that I possibly have. But they have to eventually allow us to search for mints. Like, for example, filter name, I should just be able to type in 187 and it should find every one that I have at the number 187. I have to believe that's happening, it's coming, just because it's so common sense that that would be something that could be tracked in here and found. But again, this is just so much of an easier way to interact with the overall market. Now, I want to show you what it looks like in the actual desktop app. All this is, guys, exactly the same thing, except it's an easy to use desktop app, full screens all the way. The only reason why you can't see the top is because I cut it off a little bit, just to keep this kind of in a tighter window. But at least you can see it just has the exact same look, but it's a desktop app. You don't have to go and log in every single time. You can just come to this, not have to be on whatever your browser is. Just works like anything else, and this would be the same for your mobile. I'll post a picture, at least in the Facebook group, of just a still photo of my screenshot of my Android phone, so you can see the traditional mobile app right next to what the desktop app looks like. And I use both. I always use both. So there's no rhyme or reason to it. I just feel like, again, when I'm purchasing gems, I use the web app. When I'm doing a lot of other things as far as like buying stuff, I go to the mobile app purely out of habit. But my habits will probably change and use this full time. But that's what I wanted to show today, is really just going through the fact that you can go to all of this stuff right through here and save it to your phone, save it to your computer. Stop feeling like it's a challenge. It's so simple to use. Okay, everything is all in one place. Again, they're trying to make it easy for you. They just can't market this thing. But pay attention, because this is where all of the money and all the energy and all the dev is going, is into the web app. Move your focus to the web app. I love you guys.